Do you want ideas for using your 6x6 pattern paper quickly without making scraps? Hi, I'm Jess from JessCrafts.com, and I'm here to help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's get making. Today I have a paper busting template for 6x6 paper, and it makes 2 A2 size cards with no scraps. It's a really simple sketch, so it makes cards quite quickly. It is sketch number 49, which means that there are 48 other sketches available. They are all available for free at jesscrafts.com, and there'll be a link to this template as well. But if you want to save the time of going through and getting all the templates, this will be available in an Etsy shop in a pack of 50. You can buy all 50 templates at one time, including the one that has yet to be revealed. That will be coming soon. Okay, so I have, the sketch tells me to cut 3x3 squares. This paper from Paper Rose, and I did use this collection recently. I like to revisit collections so that if you purchase them because you like them, I'm going to give you a couple ideas. So Paper Rose Winter Woods, and it had these 3x3 cut aparts. This is not the first time I've seen 3x3 like cut aparts in 6x6 pattern paper, so I really wanted to have a sketch to address them. I'm going to cut these, and then I'm not actually going to use all 4 of them for their wreaths. You absolutely could. If you want to use all 4 wreaths and you don't want to cut one in half and use the flip side, then get a second piece of paper and use that second piece of paper to cut 4 3x3 squares, and then cut them in the diagonal. So make this paper all the diagonals and make your wreath paper all the 3x3s. You'll make 4 cards, but you won't have to give up any of your wreaths. I'm not too worried about doing that today. I always like to show you that it really can be done with one piece of paper. Also, if you had single-sided paper, you can still do this. I wouldn't necessarily cut if you had a cut-apart piece of paper where there was no back, I probably wouldn't use that one, just because I wouldn't want to use half a wreath spread across the card, personally. I'm going to pick my favorite 2. I think I kind of like the ones on the wood grain background. However, I think it will be harder to stamp a sentiment on those 2. So if I were going to pick these 2, I would cut a banner die and add a sentiment to the banner die. If I pick these 2, I can stamp my sentiment directly on. Totally up to you. I'm going to come in with some... Oh, sorry, when I pick which one, I have to make a decision. So I've decided I'm not going to use the wood grain ones. They're really pretty, but they're going to be a little more difficult to work with because I'm going to do some color matching and all that. So those 2 I'm going to take and I'm going to cut on the diagonal. And then I need to cut some cardstock mats to go with it. I have some Recollections cardstock from Michaels. Really, any cardstock will do. It doesn't have to be particularly thick cardstock, although I do often use thicker cardstock for my mats, in part because when I die cut, I like thicker cardstock, so I don't like to have like thin cardstock for mats and thicker cardstock for die cutting, because then it's just more things to keep track of in the craft room. But this is actually the 65 pound, and it'll be great for mats. Not at all worried about that. Need a bunch of 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 squares. Again, don't worry about those measurements because it is a free template in Sketch. You don't need to know that. You need to, just download it afterwards. But you can follow along because this one is so simple. All right, so we'll put that again on the diagonals in my paper trimmer. Cut it down. My paper trimmer is really loud today, so sorry about that. But I'm just trying to show you how quick this really can be. We'll add some adhesive, and I'm going to use my liquid glue for the triangles just so that I could get into the points a little bit more. I really love my ATG. I use it all the time. Those of you who watch my channel, you know that. You know I have a coupon code for Tape Jungle where I get my refills because I like to buy them in bulk, and you can get that coupon code for yourself. But when I pick a liquid glue, I think Barely Art is my favorite, and it is now available at scrapbook.com. So, I like to shop at scrapbook.com, but I haven't been able to get Barely Art glue there before. So very excited to continue to have that sort of one-stop shopping experience. Like I don't have to go to multiple places to get all the things that I need. Order this here, that there kind of thing. Okay, I think I didn't pay attention to which direction. I mean, I know I didn't. I'm seeing it now. I did not pay attention to which direction I was cutting the paper. And because I have a directional pattern paper, I think I'm gonna have to switch which sides the triangles are on compared to the sketch, but that is not a big deal at all. You'll see what I'm saying in a second if it's not clear to you already. Okay, so in the sketch, I show the triangles being in the top left and bottom right, but I would have had to look at my paper when I was cutting it to make it work. Now, if you had non-directional pattern paper, you could just switch them. It wouldn't matter, but because my birds should be facing upward, I need to adjust that. Okay. Throw a little bit of glue on there. Oh, this glue holder here too, I get a lot of questions when I show it and I forget to mention it, is from Make It by Marco on Etsy. I like it because it keeps my glue like facing downward, so the glue stays in the tip, like in the end of the bottle. It comes out very quickly. But unlike some other ones that are like straight up and down, it stays on an angle so it doesn't fall as easily on my desk. I kind of like that little upgrade. Okay. Now I am putting it right in the corner there, so I took a little more time to line things up. And then I'm ready to add my focal point. And here is where I can go to town embellishing as much or as little as I want. I can just stamp a sentiment in the center and call it done and it will look great. Or I can go back to this pack and I can pick out one of these images and cut it apart for a little extra decoration. They also have, there's those ones and then the animals. I can see the animals working well inside the middle of the wreath, but I think adding more florals would not be my preference. I'm going to stamp a sentiment directly onto the inside of the wreaths, and I'm going to use Deep Sea ink from Lawn Fawn. It's my go-to navy ink. Wordfetti or Wordfetti December or Fa La 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 from scrapbook.com are great for putting small sentiments onto cards like this when you kind of only have a small space. So I think I'm going to pick something from Fa La La La. There's a couple more options it looks like in this set, but the one has like a typewriter font and the other has this like all caps font. One's actually all lowercase and one's all caps. So, you know, I would base it on like which style of font you like better because there are a lot of similarities in the sentiments. So I could stamp Peace on Earth, but then I feel like that obligates me to make this a Christmas card, and I don't know that I want to do that because I know a lot of organizations that I donate to prefer cards that are just like general winter cards, so they can give them to more people. I mean, Peace on Earth is not, that's a good sentiment for any time, right? But it has a Christmas feel to it. So I think I'm gonna go with Let It Snow. And I should probably have a scrap paper to stamp this off on so that in case there's any problem, do that off screen just to make sure it is good to go. Okay. And I'll stamp it right there in the center. And then my card can be finished. Again, you can make this as complicated as you want. You can use up more and more supplies, add 3D embellishments, whatever you want to do. The sketches are really meant to be a jumping off point so that you can have an idea to start with and then go where you want from it without having to feel like, oh, I need to think of an entire card design. Since I'll probably donate these, and you could also, you see how fast that was, but I could make multiples because there are 3 sheets of this cut apart in here. So I could, you know, use all 3 of them, make the same exact designs, and then I'd have many to donate to an organization like Cards for Seniors. And there's a page on jesscrafts.com that gives you lists of organizations to donate to. There's some winter jokes at jesscrafts.com. I also have these inserts. These are available on Etsy. They're like an inexpensive printable product if you wanted to add a little something more to the inside of your card. So I'll probably add some of those as well just because I had them. If you found this video helpful, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.